Hi everyone, it's Simon here from Higher Plane Games. Hope you're having a grandiose day. This is Don't Pick on the Fat Kid, and thanks for the developer for sending me this across. I don't know if you knew I was fat, but I am. I was fat as a child, I'm now fat as an adult. Yay, bring me the cake. So this is a 2D side-scrolling beat-em-up set in a school in a comic book aesthetic, which is really, really lovely. There are 9 levels, and they're all school-themed. So what I'm going to do is dive into, let's go gymnasium. And each level starts off with a comic strip of Fat Boy basically being tormented by someone who then becomes the nemesis and the boss for that level, which is wunderbar. As he chases after schoolgirl as evil cheerleader, who looks quite horrible there, actually. I wouldn't want her cheerleading for me, thank you very much. She looks a bit like a man. Anyway. Moving on, where this game kind of does fall down for me is actually in its fighting mechanics and the way how it's structured. This is almost structured in a extreme roguelike fashion. So you have to start this game on easy mode because you can't walk in and just play it on normal or above difficulties, even though they are unlocked. X on the Xbox 360 controller is to punch, B to kick, and then A has different specials depending on where you are and what you're doing. And then the specials can be kind of augmented because you've got 3 or 4 of them based on what you're doing with the D-pad at the time. So you've got like a belly flop. Let me see if I can get it to do it. You've got the stomp that's there, the little barrel roll, and you can also fart, which just stuns people. It doesn't hurt anyone. The issue is that these specials take a while to do, so you need to do them kind of like well in advance, in which case quite often actually a lot of the specials aren't valid anymore. So as you can see, I'm trying to fart, but I can't get to it on time because essentially the characters are a bit too quick in coming up. So occasionally the barrel roll will work if that character isn't immune to the barrel roll. But it kind of renders a lot of the specials a little bit useless. And so I find that actually most of my time in this game is literally just pressing the punch and kick buttons. As you can see, plenty of the layout is destructible, but I don't need any of this because you also regen health and special energy as you go along. Coins are used to respawn, essentially. So if you die partway through a level, you can respawn yourself back. As you can see, when I get hit, it hurts what I do. And as you saw in the top right hand corner of the post-it note, I've now picked up enough max energy tokens that actually that power up is now times 1.1 compared to what it was before, which is nice. And that's what I mean by a roguelike element, is that the other difficulties are essentially so fenced off because everyone is so much stronger in normal mode than hard mode. So instead of them taking like 7 to 10 health off, they're taking 25 to 35 health off. So you can't dive in because you will just take a couple of hits and you die. Because there's no block in this game. So you are having to kind of just button mash your way through. And that's kind of where the disappointment for this comes in, is that I really like the aesthetic. The handling of the character is a bit clumsy, but then he is fat. So I don't know if that's a design aesthetic, or if it's supposed to be, and it's supposed to be like that, or if it's just a little bit responsive because he has a turning circle of a tank. And sometimes the collision detection, like up and down, is a bit wonky, but then that's kind of part and parcel of what a beat 'em up usually feels like. But it's just the lack of depth that comes from the types of moves that Fat Kid has, and how usable quite a lot of what you do is. So I'm trying to get one of these specials to work, but they just... So there we go, we finally got him to fart, which stuns him, and that's lovely. So you can chain up some quite nice combos. Occasionally the AI will want to circle around you like in a good beat 'em up. So they don't all just get in line, but occasionally they'll just stand there a bit like that did there and just not do anything at all. Now admittedly we are in easy mode because that's all that we can do. I have tried the game on harder difficulties and they are more aggressive, or they seem to be anyway, for however long you can survive before it all kind of goes a bit wrong. So yeah, it's an interesting game. I really like the way how it comes across with its character. I just wish that there was more depth to the actual beat 'em up element of this game itself. So as a result of this, I'll complete the level, and what I'll do is I'll show you. You can bring up the bumpers so that you can kind of see where you've got up to with all of the different types of bosses. You can see how much they damage, what they get damaged by, and if they get stunned by anything as well. And as you level up, as you've seen with my post-it notes, when we get to the end of the level, there we go, my fart duration has gone up because I've now farted and affected people enough. But this is the issue, is that you can just literally, in easy mode, it feels like a really weirdly gated approach because I'm just punching people and I don't have any particular opposition. This is what I mean by like good character and stuff like that. I really appreciate stuff like that. And here's the boss. So again, when you need to get away, you kind of can. The issue is that Y brings up a lot of options, which kind of... Oh, go away, go away. There we go, we're down to... Nope, we're dead. This is literally the first time I have died in this game. So, I'm going to use a coin to respawn. There we go, that was the end of the level. It's because I was trying to show off some of the specials, because I can't... You've not seen them in action. And that's the frustration that I have with this game. The specials just take too long to deal with. I know he's fat, I know he's not agile, but bruh. So, we didn't hurt anyone with a stomp, we didn't hurt anyone with a fart. What you can see is the skill progressions. Every time you do connect with a character, it starts to level up your stuff. So if I hit another 207 punches on enemies, then I'll get the next level up for punch. 4 more bowls, and I get the next level up for bowls. Now, I've been playing this game for well over an hour, and some of those specials, as I've never been able to actually upgrade. That fart was the first time I've actually upgraded the fart, because the specials feel so pointless because they take so long to do. So if there's some way to rebalance that in the future, maybe this game would be a bit more recommendable. But at the moment, this is like a cautious recommendation. If you like what you see, you're probably going to enjoy it. But it's over quite quickly. The game takes just over an hour to complete the 9 stages. And then you're basically going to grind through that a few times before then being able to deal with the medium difficulty level. Then if you can survive some of that for a little while, you'll then be able to go up to hard, and then you've got nightmare afterwards. But it's an endless grind because all it's doing is just throwing more enemies who punch harder onto the screen. So you're still doing this. That essentially then makes your specials even less effective. So you're going to be reduced to punching and kicking. And while some of the enemies are immune to punches and kicks, and you just have to switch that up a little bit, there's really no incentive to use the specials. So it kind of defeats part of the object of the game. So that is Don't Pick on the Fat Kid. It's a semi from me, I'm afraid. So I'm going to kind of leave it a while and chew over it before I put my written review over on higherplanegames.com. But yeah, a little too lightweight for my liking, even though that's kind of a trope of the genre. There's plenty more out there that do a lot more and are just as pretty. So thank you very much for watching. I hope that helps if it's from the developer, if you're watching for some constructive feedback. Like where it's going, just needs to be a bit more complex for me. You guys take care. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. This channel is just one of my many projects that cover games, music and film. If you enjoy any of these and would consider supporting me to develop further in the future, you can do so by visiting patreon.com/Satorimon. Thank you for your time and for watching the video.